General Hospital spoilers. 1 dead and 2 captured in Chase's emergency mission. Port Charles is about to erupt. A single night will change everything as Detective Harrison Chase finds himself leading an operation that spirals into chaos. 1 life lost, 2 suspects taken into custody, and a shocking twist that leaves even the most hardened residents shaken. The evening began like any other for Chase. A late coffee at Kelly's, a quick text to Brooklyn, and plans to head home. But just after 9:42 p.m., Chase received a call from the Port Charles PD dispatch, a violent break-in at the edge of Pier 55, with possible ties to a much larger criminal network already under PCPD investigation. The intel was vague, but the urgency was crystal clear. Witnesses reported masked individuals armed with high-caliber weapons, loading crates into a suspicious cargo van. The location? A warehouse known to be linked, indirectly, to Brennan's shadow network. By 9:50, Chase was already in full tactical gear, racing toward the scene. Chase called in Dante Falconeri and rookie officer Rory Cabrera for support. The plan was simple: surveillance first, engagement second. But Port Charles has a nasty habit of turning simple into catastrophic. As the trio approached the warehouse, a gunshot cracked through the night. It wasn't aimed at them, but it was close enough to make clear the suspects knew they were being watched. Inside, 3 figures scrambled, 2 hauling a heavy, sealed trunk, 1 covering with an assault rifle. The suspects wore masks and moved with military precision. When Chase finally breached the side entrance, the reality hit hard. The trunk wasn't just contraband. It was a mobile containment unit, and from the small ventilation holes, Chase could hear muffled thumps. Someone was inside. The mission had instantly shifted from a standard takedown to a life-or-death rescue. As Chase moved in, the gunman opened fire. Dante flanked left. Rory took cover behind steel beams. In the chaos, one of the masked suspects, later identified as a low-level enforcer named Travis Kern, made a break for the exit. Chase chased him down the loading dock, but when Travis swung around with his weapon raised, Chase had no choice but to return fire. Travis went down instantly. No pulse. The first casualty of the mission. While Chase is no stranger to the harsh realities of police work, the weight of ending a life, even in the line of duty, sat heavy. But there was no time to dwell. The trunk's occupant might not have much longer. Brooklyn's voice played in Chase's head. Come home safe. No hero stuff. But there was no safe way out. Dante neutralized the second suspect with a clean tackle, wrestling away his firearm. Rory, moving quickly, cut through the lock on the trunk. Inside was Lucy Coe, bound, gagged, and terrified. Her kidnapping had been a whisper in the rumor mill for days, but no proof existed until now. Lucy gasped, "It's not just me, there's another one. They're taking her to the docks." Without hesitation, Chase radioed for Harbor Patrol and split the team. Rory would escort Lucy to GH, Dante would handle the arrested suspect, and Chase himself would intercept the fleeing third assailant. It was a decision that would put Chase in more danger than he realized. The fog rolled in thick as Chase closed in on Pier 62. The suspect, later revealed as Nico Marquez, a high-value target in Brennan's operation, had another captive, Sasha Gilmore. Her wrists were zip-tied, her expression dazed, likely from sedatives. Nico was moments away from forcing her onto a speedboat. "Let her go, Marquez." Chase's voice cut through the cold night air. For a second, Nico smirked. "Walk away, detective. She's not your problem." But before he could board, the Harbor Patrol lights flashed. Nico shoved Sasha aside and tried to bolt, but Chase tackled him hard onto the wet planks. Nico fought like a man who knew prison was a death sentence. It took every ounce of Chase's strength and a well-timed baton strike from Harbor Patrol to bring him down. By 11:30 p.m., the scene was secure. Travis Kern, dead on the scene. Second suspect, ID pending, in PCPD custody, facing multiple charges including attempted murder and kidnapping. Nico Marquez, in custody, considered a priority asset for federal investigation. Lucy Coe and Sasha Gilmore were transported to GH, both stable but shaken. Brooklyn Quartermain arrived at the hospital in tears when she saw Chase. Relief mixed with fury. She hated that he put himself in danger, but she also knew he saved 2 lives. Maxie Jones rushed in to check on Sasha, visibly rattled by the news that Brennan's network was still active despite recent takedowns. Anna Devane personally thanked Chase for his bravery, though she quietly warned him, Nico Marquez isn't just a criminal, he's a message. Someone higher up wanted us to know he's still in play. By morning, the FBI had arrived in Port Charles to claim jurisdiction over Marquez. Their interest wasn't just in his crimes, but in who he worked for. Sources hint that Marquez has connections stretching beyond Brennan's operation, possibly tied to an international arms syndicate. If that's true, Chase's mission may have just put him, and everyone close to him, in the crosshairs. Back home, Chase tried to sleep but couldn't shake the image of Travis Kern's final moments. Even though the shooting was justified, the weight of taking a life gnawed at him. Brooklyn held his hand and whispered, "You did what you had to do." But deep down, Chase feared this was only the beginning. A secret deal. The FBI offers Nico Marquez a plea bargain that could shake Port Charles politics. A hospital intruder. Someone tries to get to Sasha before she can give her statement. Chase under review. An internal investigation into the shooting puts Chase's badge and career on the line.